This is Troy Simon with 10 Score Technologies. Today I'm going to show you how to create a change order inside of Acumatica Construction Edition. From inside your project, you're simply going to click Create Change Order. You can define the class if you want to choose an internal or external change order. Classes just help you group these change orders together. You can give it a description. I'm just going to call this one Electrical Power. And then down here, I'm going to add in my revenue and cost budget items. So for revenue, I'm just going to pick my schedule of values. For electrical, for electrical power, I'm going to say I need one with a lump sum amount of $35,000. That one. I need one. So you can see my revenue budget change total is starting to begin to build up here to $35,000. As I come over to my cost budget tab, I can simply click add, and maybe I want to have some labor and material calculated in this. So I'm going to pick my cost code for electrical power. My account group is labor, and let's say I'm going to need 25 hours on this at 125. And then I'm going to add one more line for my material. And on my material side, let's just call it a lump sum for, let's say, $25,000. So I've got one lump sum amount, say $25,000. I click Save, and that's it. I've added my revenue, I've added my cost. You can see I've got my totals up here with a gross margin percent. I'm going to stand to make 19.64% on this change. Now all I have left to do is release this change order. Now a couple of things. When I hit remove the hold on this change order, you can see in my system it's changed the status to pending approval. So if you have approval workflows turned on where you want to have approval set up for change orders on the project, you can do that in Acumatica. This is not mandatory. You could simply turn that off and click release, and you wouldn't have to worry about a pending approval. In this case, it's saying that the user, John Kinney, has to approve this before we can release the change. So for John, when he logged in, he could have it set up on his dashboard to where maybe he had, let me go back, I better save that first. He could go and look at his approvals, and you can see there's that change order for electrical power that's waiting his approval. So he logs in, he clicks into his approvals, he can drill down into that particular change order, see any details, just detailed descriptions if any were added in here, notes, file attachments maybe that you saved into the system. Once he was happy with it, he simply comes up and says, hey, I want to go ahead and approve that change. And now the change order, you can see, has moved to status of open, and it can then be released. So let me, before I release it, we can look here at our project, and I'll show you how it actually updates. So we were in that Italian restaurant project, and you can see if we look at our cost budget, we have our original budgeted quantity. Let me just change the view on this just a little bit. Of $15,000 for labor on the project. Let me get down here to our, I believe we were in 16.2 for labor. Yep, we had 15,000 here. But you can see we've got some potential change orders sitting out there for 62.50. So we've got some change orders sitting in there, as well as these lump sum amounts for the material that we've added in there where it says we've got some potential. So we can see I've got two potential change orders, including the one that I just did, and then another one sitting out there. So that's why I have 62.50 instead of the 31.25, because there's a couple of change orders sitting out there for this project that haven't been released yet. So if we're in these change orders, we can see I've got this pending approval and this one that's open. This is the one that we just did here. So if I click on this one here and I go ahead and release it, when we come back over to our project, see, we're back in the project. If I just refresh my screen here, I'll show you the update. You can see down here, let me scroll up just a bit. We've still got a couple of potential change orders out there, but notice how it updated our revised budget amounts within the project. So it really is that simple. Step one, select the project that you want. Step two, create your change order and add your cost and revenue budgets. And then either it's pending approval and it needs approved first, or you just step three, just release it and it'll update your project with those revised budget amounts.